Today, we're unraveling a genuinely chilling true crime case out of Gujarat. It's a story that starts as a simple missing persons report, but trust me, it very quickly spirals into an unthinkable tragedy. We're going to examine the shifting timelines and the hidden digital clues that crack this entire case wide open. So let's jump right in, because the twists in this investigation are absolutely wild.
So how exactly does a routine missing persons case mutate into this insane web of fake arrests, forged death certificates, and a shocking final message? Let's put ourselves in the shoes of the investigators for a second. You're starting with a completely blank slate, a panicked family, and an 18-year-old girl's cell phone that has just gone completely dark.
The missing person report. June 5th, 2025, in the Banaskantha district. 46-year-old Sendabhai Patel and 40-year-old Shivram rush into a local police station in an absolute panic. They report that 18-year-old Chandrika had vanished the previous evening, and when the police naturally ask if she might be involved in a romantic relationship, her father frantically and immediately denies it.
So the police start tracking her phone, right? But it's switched off. On June 5th, it goes dead right there in her village in Gujarat. A couple days later, on June 7th, they get a brief ping in Ahmedabad before it goes totally dark again. Over the next week, this digital footprint bounces to Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh and then over to Udaipur in Rajasthan. Finally, on June 14th, the signal pops up in Pulasar, Rajasthan. That is where police, with some local help, finally track her down at a resort.
A fake arrest. The lover discovered. Now, when the police actually arrive at that resort, they realize Chandrika certainly hadn't been kidnapped. Not at all. She was found with 23-year-old Haresh, the guy she loved, and the guy she had willingly run away with. But here's where things take a really dark turn. Chandrika's family had some serious influence. They managed to get the police to file a totally fabricated complaint against Haresh, claiming he was drinking and selling alcohol. Using strict local prohibition laws, they actually throw him behind bars. And why? To buy her family the exact window of time they needed to corner Chandrika and aggressively threaten her to leave him forever.
Now, here is a massive detail. We all know a factory reset is the complete deletion of all data, photos, apps, and saved numbers, right? Well, when Haresh was finally released from jail a week later on June 21st, the police handed his phone back completely wiped. Whole shebang, gone. They seemingly erased his only connection to Chandrika, but Haresh actually had the number memorized. So he gets out, he calls her, only to find her phone is just switched off. The heart attack claim, a shocking courtroom twist. Haresh, to his absolute credit, refuses to give up. He remembers that he had actually backed up some photos of him and Chandrika on his laptop. Armed with those backed up photos, he files a habeas corpus petition to legally force the police to physically present Chandrika in court. But then, on June 27th, her parents walk into the courtroom and calmly hand over a doctor's certificate. They tell the judge she died of a sudden natural heart attack, and just like that, the case gets dismissed. Haresh isn't buying it for a second, though. He knows she was perfectly healthy. In his gut, he strongly suspects a premeditated murder covered up by her own father and uncle. Uncovering the truth, the interrogation. Heartbroken but incredibly determined, Haresh completely bypasses the local cops and goes straight to the district SP. And the SP immediately sets up a special investigative team.
They bring Chandrika's relatives in for questioning, and almost instantly, their fabricated stories just crumble. Faced with intense pressure, they confess to a horrific, premeditated timeline that took place on the night of June 24th. First, they spiked Chandrika's milk with sleeping pills. Once she passed out, they moved her to a storeroom and strangled her. Their first thought was to frame it as a suicide, but then, terrified of the societal shame, they lied to the entire village, claimed it was a heart attack, and literally cremated her body the very next day. The final message, a digital breadcrumb. Now, you might be wondering, how was Haresh so absolutely certain that he needed to accuse her family of murder in the first place? Well, it all came down to a single app that he reinstalled on that wiped phone. Somehow, Chandrika had managed to get her hands on a phone her father had hidden from her, and she sent this utterly devastating final plea to Haresh's Instagram. It simply read, "Please come fast. If I refuse, they will kill me. Please save me." Because his phone was wiped by the cops, Haresh had absolutely no idea this notification came through while he was sitting in jail. He only saw this chilling message, literally a digital voice from the grave, after he got out and reinstalled the app. The price of honor, a fatal backstory.
to really wrap our heads around why a father would do something so unimaginable to his own child, we have to look back to 2024. That's when Chandrika and Haresh first connected at a medical coaching center in Palanpur.
When her family found out about the relationship, they let this incredibly twisted definition of honor completely override any love they had for their daughter. They were terrified that sending her to college would just lead to romance. They cynically viewed love as just a tool men use to cheat women. They wanted to prioritize an arranged marriage over her education, and above all else, they were absolutely terrified of losing their societal reputation and the respect of their neighbors.
And that brings us to the number 484. This isn't just some random statistic. That was Chandrika's score on the NEET medical entrance exam. That score was high enough that, while Haresh was locked in a jail cell, Chandrika was actually actively attending counseling sessions and had secured a highly coveted seat to become a doctor.
The sources we're looking at highlight a profound sociological tragedy here. True honor is supporting a daughter's ambitions and celebrating her achievements, not destroying her entire life for the sake of societal ego. This family effectively threw away an incredibly bright future. They traded the genuine honor of raising a successful doctor for the permanent, shameful title of murderers.
Which leaves us with a pretty grim reflection. When will society realize that sacrificing an innocent life for a quote-unquote honor cost you the right to even be called a parent? It is a devastating societal cost, and it really forces us to question when this backward mindset is finally going to come to an end. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those tough questions, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.